Hello to all of you at ULO from the Irish office. Of course, on Sunday, I'll be at the second day of Fairyhouse's winter meeting, where there's plenty of top quality racing to enjoy. But before then, I have to mention the events of yesterday. Up at Newcastle, the Fighting Fifth was a classic encounter of the ages, where Constitution Hill, who the Mandarin described as the once messianic prodigy of hurdling, lined up on something of a rescue mission. Our lovely Jay Seller had been adamant in the podcast this week that she doubted whether there was a way back for Constitution Hill, and how right she was. I would tell you that cantering up to the start, Constitution Hill looked every bit as good as ever, with credit to Nicky Henderson for getting him back to that condition, but it was in the race that it once again unravelled. There is something awry in the way that he fluffs his landing when taking a hurdle at speed, and that's nothing to do with conditioning, that's something in the horse's mind. Now, you could argue that Dan Skelton's The New Lion went down in a similar way, but that was just overreaching for the hurdle, a physical error, not a mental one. Now, I'm from Deep Ireland, so I can tell you that in The New Lion, you are looking at a future chasing star, quite possibly a Gold Cup horse within the next 3 years, so this 2 mile 1 hurdle was always going to make it a test of his gallop to me. That's where his error was founded. It's maybe a topic we'll revisit in the podcast soon, as there's sure as a gun going to be plenty of chatter over that great race. Now, back to Fairyhouse, where I do see that there's been plenty of money going down for Narciso has this week in the juvenile hurdle. And really, he was pretty effective at Auteuil back in April. Since bought up by J.P. McManus and now housed in Willie Mullins' Close-Hutton Yard, I'm sure he's touted to be going places. But I'm stuck on the appeal of Gordon Elliott's Monge 2, so I'm going to go against the Jolly. Monge 2 was very good the last day at Down Royal and won't be minding this ground, so the recent run swings it for me over Narciso has. On to Sunday's nap, and I cannot wait to have a really good look at Love Me Tender in the Royal Bond. It is a good chance to see how good this Dr. Dino gelding is progressing, now sent up into another graded contest, and I, for one, will be keeping him on side. Unbeaten in 3 starts, this deeper ground may ask the question, but on breeding, I'll be guessing he will be fine. In good hands with Willie Mullins in the green and gold of J.P. McManus, Love Me Tender is one going places this campaign, and I think that you will be putting this one on your watch list for some bigger targets later this season. Very interesting. My next best is probably no surprise as I give the go-ahead for Tihupu. It's an absolutely fascinating Hatton's Grace, where Gordon Elliott's Tihupu starts this season's campaign over a tried and trusted route. In 3 renewals, only the brilliant Lossymouth has lowered Tihupu's colours once into second, but this isn't the formality it would seem without Lossymouth lining up. This time, Tihupu has to shake off the attentions of Willie Mullins Ballyburn, who looked set for a future over fences last season, but returns here to hurdles where his record is 4 from 5. I'm of the opinion that the weather could play a part. If it continues to dry here at Fairyhouse, then that plays into Ballyburn's hands. If there's any more cut in the ground, it's Tihupu's to lose. Earlier on, I do like the profile of Better Times Ahead in the Porterstown. I'm thinking that he will be giving this a good run with what looks like a giveaway handicap mark. That said, this is a bit of a marathon, but I imagine that Better Times Ahead will be able to make the most of his lowly mark and put his useful course form to good effect. He won here the last day with something still to come, so this longer trip could see more improvement. Gavin Cromwell's Now is the Hour rates the obvious danger, but has to concede £18 to Better Times Ahead, which asks a question, so I'll stick my pin on Better Times Ahead and Mark Walsh. Later on, the Drinmore is all about Romeo Coolio, as you might know from Jay Seller's podcast this week. Looking very much one of the best novice hurdlers last season, Connections have wasted no time in sending this Cave Tara gelding over fences, and I, for one, cannot wait to see how he gets on at this level. Winning his beginner's chase the last day by 14 lengths, there's obviously so much more to come, and although Willie Mullins has a prolific one in Gold Dancer, this again is a step up in grade. Romeo Coolio to impress again, with no bookmaker taking any chances, so the price is on offer to reflect that. For the casino handicap, I'll take the chance that this is another canny piece of placing by Willie Mullins. Sporting the same colours as Ethical Diamond, who the Close-Hutton trainer sent out to win the Ebor before scoring at Delmar in the Breeders' Cup turf. So, same silks, another big prize to be plundered, and another chance for Willie Mullins to take advantage of a handy mark. The pair at the top of the weights, Put Your Hands Together, and Last Kingdom should give their running. but could be prone to one further down in this handicap, and I think that's Zillow.